again. I'm glad you're back. Remember Thomas was making faces? And what happened? Peter and Chinky have gone in the wishing chair to go and find the windy wizard, and Molly's staying with Thomas so he doesn't get seen while he's got a face like that. The Adventures of the Wishing Chair by Enid Blyton. We're up to chapter 17. Put on your glasses, Grandma. It's called The Windy Wizard. The wishing chair rose high into the air, carrying Peter and Chinky. It had stopped raining and it was a hot sunny day, and the wind the chair made rushing through the air was very pleasant. Peter wished Molly was with them. It was much more fun to go on adventures all together. Presently, the chair came into a very windy sky. Goodness, how the wind blew. It blew the white clouds to rags. It blew Peter's hair nearly off his head. It blew the chair's wings so that it could hardly flap them. The windy wizard lived somewhere around here, said Chinky, looking down. Look, do you see that hill over there? With the golden buttercups? There's a house there. It's the Windy Wizard's. I'm sure, because it's rocking around in all directions as if the wind lived inside it. Down flew the wishing chair. It came to rest outside the cottage, which was certainly rocking about in a most alarming manner. Peter and Chinky jumped off and ran to the cottage door. They knocked.
"Come in!"
cried a voice, and they opened the door and went in. Oh, the wind rushed out at them and nearly blew them off their feet.
"Good day,"
said the Windy Wizard. He was a most peculiar looking person, for he had very long hair and a very long beard and a cloak that swept to the ground. But as the wind blew, his hair and beard and cloak up and down, all around, it was very difficult to see exactly what he was like. Good day, said Peter and Chinky, staring at the wizard. He hadn't a very comfortable house to live in, Peter thought, because there were drafts everywhere, round his legs, down his neck, behind his knees. And all the cottage was full of a whispering, sighing sound, whoo-hoo, as if the wind was talking to itself all the time.
"Have you come to buy a little wind?"
asked the wizard. No, said Chinky. I've come about a boy who made faces when the wind changed, and he can't get it right again. So we thought perhaps you could help us. I know that if we could get a little of the wind that blew at that time and puff it into his face, he'll be all right. But how do we get that wind?
"Oh, what a foolish boy,"
said the Windy Wizard, his cloak blowing out and hiding him completely.
"What time did this happen?"
At 3 o'clock this afternoon, said Peter. I heard the clock strike.
"Oh, it's difficult, very difficult,"
said the wizard, smoothing down his cloak.
"You see, the wind blows and it's gone in a thrice. Now, let me think for a moment. Who is likely to have kept a little of that wind?"
What about the birds that were flying in the air at that moment? Asked Chinky. They might have some in their feathers, you know.
"So they may,"
said the wizard. He took a feather from a jar that was full of feathers and he flung it out the door.
"Come, birds, come and bring the breeze from your wing,"
he chanted. Peter and Chinky looked out of the door, hoping that dozens of birds would come. But only one appeared, and that was a blackbird.
"Only one bird was flying in the air with the wind at that moment,"
said the wizard.
"Come, blackbird, shake your feathers. I want the wind from them."
The the blackbird shook his glossy feathers out, and the wizard held a green paper bag under them to catch the wind in them. The bag blew up a little, like a balloon.
"Not enough wind here to change your friend's face back again,"
said the wizard, looking at it.
"I wonder if there are any kites using wind at that moment."
He went to a cupboard and took the tail of a kite out of it. He threw it up into the air just outside the door.
"Come, kites, and bring the breeze from your wing,"
he called. Peter and Chinky watched eagerly, and to their delight they saw two kites sailing down from the sky. One was a green one and one was a red one. They fell at the wizard's feet. He shook each one to get the wind into his green bag. It blew up a little more.
"Still not enough,"
said the wizard.
"I'll get the little ships along. They will surely have enough then."
He ran to the mantelpiece and took a tiny sailor doll from it. He threw it up into the air and it disappeared.
"Come, ships, and bring the breeze from your wing,"
sung the old wizard, his hair and beard streaming out like smoke. Then sailing up a tinkling stream that ran down the hillside came 6 little toy sailing ships with their sails full of wind. They sailed right up to the wizard's front door, for the stream seemed suddenly to run there. And quickly and neatly the old wizard seized each ship, shook its sails into the green paper bag, and then popped it back into the stream. Away sailed the ships again, and Peter and Chinky saw them no more. The paper bag was quite fat and full now.
"That's about enough, I think,"
said the wizard.
"Now, I'll put the wind into a pair of bellows for you."
Do you know what a bellow is? It's like this, and it's got like a balloon here. And when you want to puff wind, you lift it and shut it, lift it and shut it. So if they lift it up and fill it with the special wind, they can puff it into his face. They're called bellows. Where are we up to? The wizard took a small pair of bellows from his fireside and put the tip of them into the green paper bag. He opened the bellows and they sucked in all the special air from the bag. The wizard handed them to Peter and Chinky.
"Now don't puff these bellows until you reach your friend,"
he said.
"and then use them hard and puff all the air into his face. It will come right again in a twink."
"Thank you so much for your help," said Chinky gratefully. He and Peter ran to the wishing chair and climbed into it, holding the bellows carefully. The chair rose up into the air and Chinky cried out, "Home, chair, home!" In a few minutes it was flying in at the box room window, for Molly had run up and opened it ready for the chair when it came back with Peter and Chinky. Peter and Chinky shut the window after them and hurried downstairs. Thomas was still there, his face all screwed up and his cheeks blown out. "I'm so glad you're back," said Molly. "It's horrid being here with Thomas. His face is so nasty to look at. It makes me feel like I'm in a dream. Have you got something to make it right?" "Yes," said Chinky, and showing her the bellows. "The windy wizard has filled these bellows full of wind that blew when Thomas made that face. If we puff it at him, his face will be all right again." "Go on then, puff," said Molly. So Chinky lifted up the bellows and puffed them right into Thomas's face. Thomas gasped and spluttered. He shut his eyes and coughed, and when he opened them, his face had gone right again. His nose and forehead were no longer screwed up, and his cheeks were quite flat, not a bit blown up. "You're right again now, Thomas," said Chinky. "But let it be a lesson to you never to be silly any more."
"I'll never pull faces again,"
said Thomas, who really had a dreadful fright.
"But who are you? Are you a fairy?"
"Never mind who I am, and don't say a word about me or what has happened this afternoon," said Chinky. And Thomas promised. He ran home feeling puzzled, but very happy to think he had got his face all right again. "Well, that was an exciting sort of adventure, Molly," said Peter, and he told her all about it. The Windy Wizard was so nice. I say, what about giving him back his bellows? "I'll manage that," said Chinky, taking them. "I must go now, or someone will come and see me. Goodbye till next time." And that is the end of that chapter. It was lucky that the wizard knew how to get wind and puff it back into Thomas's face. Don't let it happen to you, unless you've got Chinky living in your garden. That's all for today. Come back again. Bye-bye.